Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video on Cardiff killers and mysteries. Today's story is about the reinvestigation of Carol Ann Stevens' murder case. If you are watching this from Cardiff, please drop a comment and leave us a thumbs up. More than 6 decades after Carol Ann Stevens' death, her investigation was reopened in November 2020. Former Police Chief Jackie Roberts, who led the case accompanied by former detectives and crime experts, had announced they had a suspect. In 1959, Hamlet owned 8 houses, 1 pub, a single chapel and a brickworks factory. Absence of injuries to Carol Ann Stevens' body led investigation teams to believe that Carol's body was not thrown into the river culvert. And as Hamlet was such a small area, Carol's murderer must have known the area well. All employees of the brickworks factory and the people of Horeb were questioned, and widespread interviews were carried out along the 60-mile radius between Carol's home in Cathays, Cardiff, and where her body was found in Horeb, Llanelli, including motorists and farming communities in the area at the time. A man named Spencer Hughes helped the reinvestigation team by informing them of a memoir written by Police Detective Superintendent Roy Davies. The professional memoir was read mainly by friends and family of Roy, but had one section that featured the murder and investigation of Carol Ann Stevens. Carol's abduction had been one of his first cases as an officer. Roy Davies expressed his true thoughts about the unfortunate case and how he suspected a man named Ronald Edward Murray. Ronald's name came up when checking the list of employees that worked at the J.P. Zammit brick factory in Horeb. Ronald had been one of many employees interviewed, but Ronald aroused Roy Davies' suspicions. Ronald Edward Murray, born originally in Australia, came to Cardiff after World War II. He lived with his wife Della Murray in Llansamlet, Swansea, and from January 1951 to April 1952, he worked as a steeplejack and steel erector at the brickworks factory in Horeb, just yards from where Carol Ann Stevens' body was found. The reinvestigation team were able to track down a former neighbour of Ronald and Della's, who gave the investigators some vital information. The unnamed neighbour reported that Ron and his wife both seemed like nice people. He said Ron was charming and he could make friends easily, but he told a lot of lies, which left you feeling suspicious of him. He used to buy and sell sweets to the children in the neighbourhood. The neighbour told investigators that Ronald had a company car and said it wasn't very big, possibly something like a Morris Minor, and that the police took it away when they found Carol Ann Stevens' body. The neighbour also told the investigation team that he had once questioned Ronald Edward Murray about the day Carol had gone missing. Ronald told his neighbour that he had fallen ill in work on that Tuesday when he was in Cardiff, and that he was on his way home when he hit a dog with his car. Ronald explained to the neighbour how he had got out of the car and put the injured dog in and drove home. But when Ronald got home and opened the car door, the dog ran away, so Ron proceeded to run after the dog. The neighbour stated that he found Ronald's story to be very suspicious. Upon further investigation and intensive research, investigators found that Ronald Edward Murray was working for Carson's Chocolates in Bristol, and the company gave their workers company cars that were green Morris Minors. One of the areas that Ronald delivered chocolates to was the area of Cathays where Carol went missing. An employment record for the company informed investigators that he'd asked for more children's lines of chocolates as part of his perks and benefits for working for the chocolate factory. Ronald Edward Murray is the strongest suspect in Carol Ann Stevens' case, and the police continue to investigate whether or not he was responsible for Carol's death. Unfortunately, Ronald died in 1973 living in Penarth, leaving the case to be unsolved for the meantime. Mavis Stevens died in 2002, never having justice for her daughter. Looking into Ronald Edward Murray's records, investigators found things of concern. 10 years after Carol Ann Stevens' death, Ronald Edward Murray claimed he found his wife dead in the living room with an overpowering smell of gas. Coroners recorded her death as accidental, even though his explanation of what happened seemed suspicious. Ronald claimed it was a trick gone wrong. Apparently, Ronald used to trick his son by turning off the gas at the mains and then asking his son to make him a cup of tea. When his son tried to light the stove to put the kettle on, it wouldn't light. Ron would tease his son by telling him he wasn't even man enough to make a cup of tea. Ronald claimed his son tried to play the same trick on him, but mistakenly left the gas on, and the results were that his wife died. Did Della Murray die at the hands of her son from a nasty trick, or by a trickster hiding as her husband? Thank you all for watching, sending you cookies from my heart to yours. Until next time, bye bye.